Hello and welcome to Look North. Later on the programme, a work experience student finds out what it's really like to work at the BBC in Leeds. So Ian, you've got a lot of experience in broadcasting. What would you say are the most important skills for on-screen reporting?
I think you've got to be a good communicator, you've got to have a good relationship with people, you've got to be able to talk to people, you've got to get people to trust you. So, you've got to be friendly, you've got to be approachable, you've got to have an inquiring mind, of course, you've got to want to know the answers to lots of difficult questions, you've got to ask the questions that people watching want to know, and you've got to have a bit of fun as well. You've got to have the ability to react to whatever the interviewee actually says to you. So if they say something funny, there's no point sitting there going, you've got to be able to react and have a laugh.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and the sort of skills that are involved with that?
Yeah, so I'm one of the TV directors here at BBC Yorkshire. Most of my time is spent directing Look North, and we do various other programmes as well. Look North is a live programme, so we go on air every night at 6:30, and it's the director's job to work in here. This is the gallery that we're in now, and actually transmit the programme. So this is where we transmit the programme from every single night. We've got different cameras in the studio, different sources of VTs, graphics, and so it's up to the director to almost act as like the conductor of an orchestra, really. The director cues different people in different roles to do their job at the right time, and that's how the programme comes together.
Olivia, what is it like working in TV? What are the best bits, and is it as glamorous as people might think?
Well, Beth, as you know, having been here for 2 weeks, it's not glamorous in the slightest. You're very often cold, you get wet very, very often, and you're often doing stories about the weather, which is, as you know, far from glamorous. You say, what are the best bits? Yeah. I think the best bit for me is that every day is just a little bit different, and you never know when a really big news story is going to happen, and that's what I find really exciting. So some days are boring, but some days are just brilliant.
Larry, what advice would you give to someone wanting to work in radio?
One, be prepared to work for free. Don't think that you're going to walk into a paid job anywhere in commercial or in a BBC network job or anything like that. That's just ridiculous. Two, understand that you don't know anything about anything when you're starting out in radio or TV or anything like that. Know that you've got to learn loads, because if you think that you know what you're doing, then it's going to bite you in the arse and you're going to fall over at some point.
So you script everything yourself, you do the research, and then also you have to do this tricky thing like this. Is that hard at first? Is it something that you just adapt to and get used to?
I think any job's hard at first, but it's something you get used to quite quickly. Certainly the waving around of the arm thing's fairly simple. Yeah. As for writing the scripts, you do the forecasts, so it's not just a case of kind of writing it in a way that sounds good, but you actually have to write it in an accurate way. But because you're kind of looking at the charts and doing the forecast, it is relatively straightforward, and it's chronological as well, so it does make it relatively easy.
Okay, Tom, you're a multi-skilled operator. What exactly does that involve?
So being a multi-skilled operator means that we come in on a day-to-day basis doing a variety of things, such as cameras. We'll do studio cameras, we can go out on the road and do PSE cameras. We do sound, so gallery sound operations, mixing the sound for Look North. We do technical hub, we do editing, we can do directing, technical directing.
Bit of everything, really. Would it be fair to say that hosting Sunday Politics combines your two passions of presenting and politics?
Yes, I've always been interested in politics. It's a fascinating part of journalism because it affects everybody. When you go out to people and say, are you interested in politics? They're probably going to say, no, it's boring. But ask them if they've got views on, say, immigration or the state of the economy or unemployment or whether their bins get emptied. It's something everyone has a view on. So yeah, I enjoy presenting the programme, and it's good to meet all our local politicians as well.
So that's an insight into what goes on at the Beeb, and after 2 weeks working there, I'm pleased to say I've left with a better idea of what really happens. Now I just need to get them to give me a job. Beth Wilson, BBC Look North, Leeds.